the semi-final action to see which team moves on to play Reason Gaming later on today in what would be the finals to see which team qualifies then for DreamHack Summer 2015. So excited to see how it plays out here. Once again, joined by my co-caster Xeno Viper, and looking forward to seeing a fun game number 3. Again, a different series here.
Yep, some great games coming just from past games itself. You see Reason qualifying 2-0 to the finals. We'll be fighting the winner for this matchup, I guess. Team Grief versus Nullstone. See who comes up. So going to the banning phases real quick. It's kind of happened. Tremble banned off the bat along War Beast from Kaoli. And Puppet Master Dr. Repulsor also going to be addressed there. But the first pick, Moira, though, what do you like? Do you think it's a good first pick, though? Because that leaves Nullstone with a really much stronger pickup of Swiftblade.
We've been, well, again, strong as all in the eye of the beholder, right? We've been seeing a lot of Moira, honestly, as far as even first pick potential. People really value this hero. A lot of teams are doing it more and more. The strength of Moira, she has a very high win percentage, 57% or so. Definitely high comparable, and in that support role, she's considered as one of the top tier. So it really isn't too surprising to me to see that Moira pick coming out here. But I am more intrigued by that Fade pickup, however. And I wonder if a possible Sandwraith could eventually happen as a result of that. But honestly, we're probably going to see a ban on Sandwraith because of the Fade pickup. We've been seeing that synergy.
That is true. Well, Parasite coming out, at least, for Nullstone, alongside the Bubbles and Swiftblade. So the Bubble Swiftblade, good synergy, obviously, with the Kelp Field and Swiftblade playing auto attacks. But at this point, we are not exactly sure if Swiftblade is going to be playing the Suicide or the carry role. But like you mentioned, the Fate, it has good synergy with Midas, I just point that out. But I would have gone with a Magnus, though, compared to a Fate. But it is banned out, though. Oops. Wait, was it banned out?
Magnus was not banned out initially, no. Just got banned out right here by Chaoli, so.
By his own, what?
Yeah.
Okay, that's strange.
Well, taking it away, and, figuring that they already have a Fate and a Midas, probably not a lot of room to run a Magnus here, and, of course, taking it from Nullstone. Running it themselves, but
right.
Yeah, so they're doing a little bit different here, but yeah, well, what Fade really brings to the table is the idea that she can kind of be anywhere in that sense with her ultimate. So the catch factor, like we've seen, the Sandwraith synergy, where Sandwraith just presses R as soon as Fade finds somebody and then is able to assist for the kill, is a pretty powerful tool. So. Yeah. If that idea comes out.
Just off the top, I would say that Team Grief has a lot of map presence. Just with that Moira, Moira Fate. Mm-hmm. But the Midas, obviously, with that amount of, I would say, AoE damage, plus as well, he does have an escape mechanism. So this could work out for Grief if their communication is on par. Well, there's top tier teams, I guess. But on the Hellborn side, it's pretty much straightforward. It's a more catered to, I guess, maybe single target pickoffs in the early game, and then Bubbles transitions into one of those greatest gankers. Probably close to maybe 20 minutes in, depending. But you're looking at a Dark Lady, a Ravenor band coming out, Clanks. Just all those carries being addressed there. Sandwraith, Oogie as well.
Yeah, Oogie for obvious reasons. We saw last game what it even has potential to do, again, especially in the hands of Beaver Banger. So, yeah, understandable. They take out the Oogie. But, yeah, very heavy carry bands definitely from either side. And, the Swift play, we have seen a short lane Swift play before. It's not out of the question by any means. Has potential to do that, but tends to be more of a suicide in most cases on the scene. So the idea that they could still go a carry on top of that would make sense. So, but Flux coming out here, so some more of that global presence, more of the I can still do stuff to you even though I'm really far away idea. Kind of fits with the more with the Fade aspect, and really intriguing now to see what that final pick is because of that. Mentioned the Sandwraith. I mean, Doctor's also another hero that could be good for that because of how quickly he can get to places, but he is banned, of course, too. So I don't know a carry option we should expect to see here.
A Tempest could work here, though. That's in my opinion. Not because of the Flux, just of Midas. And I'd like to point out that Flux ult is so good with Midas, especially. But that really just depends on how spread out, quote unquote, Nullstone really is.
Yeah.
And it will depend on their last pick, which I would be maybe safe to assume that it would be a carry, knowing Team Grief, unless they kind of go greedy and commit fully to AoE magic damage.
Yeah. The problem with the Tempest is kind of, that, as you're pointing out there at the end, it's just then that means they wouldn't necessarily have that short lane carry to work with. So Unless they want to do something like a Fade even, short lane carrier. That would be really interesting, maybe. But
Midas for that matter.
Midas, too. Yeah, that's true. They
We've
are
seen
like...
Flux.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, we've seen Flux short lane sometimes as well. He does very well because he's able to get level 6 pretty quickly and an early portal key, helping in ganks as well. So like you mentioned, I can help the team fight wherever I am in the map, kind of that factor. So let's see how Team Grief is going to play this. Glacier's coming up for the Hellborn team. Very pretty, I would say, it's pretty stable lineup. Swiftblade Glaciers, nothing too fancy. We've seen Empath. We have seen an Empath Shadow pick though, so I don't know if we're going to go for a double support lineup.
Yeah, I mean, they have a Parasite, so probably wouldn't do that. Although we did see the NG play more of a farming NG yesterday. That was really interesting. I forget who was that even Reason? That might have been Reason that was doing that, or for some reason I'm thinking that. Anyways, we saw it yesterday. So that was kind of interesting, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see something similar here.
That engineer mid with Glaciers. Oh,
yeah, that was fun, but don't think we're going to see that here once again. So yeah, I think that's more maybe what they had in mind before, or just a troll even. But Soul Stealer now being right-clicked on the Legion side even. They were right-clicking Pearl for a while. Short lane Pearl is something we have seen before, but I'm looking at this Hellborn side, and again, nothing's really screaming, oh yeah, Pro would be good against them. So again, maybe a little bit of a troll, a little bit of a possibility earlier, but not going to be the case here. But Soul Stealer, I think that would make sense as a final pick.
As a good short lane carry, plus, oh my god, make up your mind. You have 18 seconds on the clock. I didn't go for the Dampier. Okay. Man, just in terms of more sniping abilities for Team Grief, Nullstone's actually going to be careful because in the early game, I think that Grief does have the better aggression in terms of team fight potential, but Nullstone has a much scarier burst. Let's just put it there, especially with the Swift Blade staggering those, I would say, the damage coming in from the Blade Frenzy. Even.
Well, yeah, Dampier, interesting final pick, definitely. He kind of fits that mold that, because he will get a portal key eventually is the idea, and the idea he can assist on jumping people throughout the game. And what I like here, too, is that what I stress a lot is that if you're going to get a Dampier, try to stay away from getting a jungler, because then the idea that you want to stack the jungle early on for a Dampier and allow him to go in there and flash farm those camps pretty quickly. So they do not have a jungler, so that is good news, and I'm excited to see how that works for them. Madman is the final pick for Nullstone. That means, though, Beaverbanger actually is going to be playing the Swiftblade here, and very possibly the short lane, actually. So they're going to be running a Suicide Madman instead. That's a result.
All right, so I guess lanes are pretty straightforward then for Nullstone.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if actually they do an aggressive trial in here, now that I think about it. They got the Parasite, something like a Parasite Glacier Swiftblade. Could be pretty interesting to see.
You have a Madman solo top, I guess, or Bubbles, for that matter. It's interchangeably, they're pretty worked out anyway for Nullstone. And it will come down to the matchup they are facing from Grief, though, because those stuns especially from Fade, Dampier coming in. I guess they really the Dampier is a good pick after all, because committing to that magic burst plus able to transition into a carry to the late game. So Grief is, I would say, kind of good in their position, I guess.
Again, this is the third game, guys. A winner of this going on to face Regent Gaming pretty much right after at this rate going to be happening. So looking forward to seeing which team moves on for that. Madman a little bit far up. The Burning Shadows does connect, actually. Will they capitalize here? No, they will not. They even put the Rev Horde down to try to secure the kill, but Flex was just out of range of the Magnetic Surge and couldn't pull him in. So, man, if he got caught, would have been huge, but he does escape. And I mean, they did waste a Rev Horde again to do that. So it's like 100 gold, really, down the drain almost for the Legion team.
It's just out of
block.
It was out of range, unfortunately, but not the worst. So we are looking at bottom. So Haxman would be, flying solo. No, I lied. It's probably being seated by Moira, and as you were right, Parasite's actually going to be going to offensive jungle here.
Yeah, it's not going to be a tri-lane though. Just Madman down here.
I guess it's safer to kind of just sit Beaverbanger top lane. Because after all, he is main carry going up against Midas, so he will suffer a little bit without the support that he needs.
Interesting. So the Legion team, now Fade is down here. Of course, actually, he will find Parasite, but I think the Legion team might have almost expected it to be the tri-lane bottom because they spotted Madman at the top side, and so perhaps expecting him to be at the top lane. So they actually sent both Fade and Mora down here, but they realized pretty quickly that's not the case, obviously. So they found Parasite, not able to do enough to stop him, though, but Parasite could have some issues, however. Both of these supports, if they stay on top of him, going to be distracted, and actually he is just going to run away, and I think that makes sense. Yeah, go back to his own jungle there.
But well, you see Legion jungle. We have the Moira Fate just roaming, I guess. I'm not pretty sure what they're trying to accomplish here. Probably just set a kill onto Madman bottom, which I think they have that intention in mind, or just serve as well, just stacking pretty much. So Fate is definitely playing more of the support role here.
Oh yeah.
That's safe to say.
He's a secondary support, definitely. And
oh,
he actually has a Rev Ward on him. So, yeah, Madman needs to be really careful right here. Dampier is going to go in. The Shards of Harkon going to be applied. And Fate is running in again. Has the Rev Ward as he applies a stun. But top lane, Bloodlust kill comes out first. And they can't finish on Madman. Oh, my God. He actually escaped right there. The final auto attack did not do it. So, not only do they not get the kill, but at the top lane, Midas ended up falling to what was Baba Ganoush coming over to assist, playing the Glacius, actually. So, man, that backfired onto them, and Team Grief takes the 1-0 lead here.
But man, yeah, this, like I said, this lineup, man, Glacius Swiftblade, this pup gearing combo, it does work out though, because after all, it does provide a consistent amount of CC, plus Swiftblade is now level 3 with that Bloodlust. He is able to scale into this game. Midas does not have his Elemental Warp. That's why he just, I think he pretty much fell in the last team fight.
And I kind of wonder if that had to do with they thought they maybe were going to try to kill the Madman, and so maybe he leveled up the Golden Salvo for that, but that never happened, obviously. So, but yeah, for him to go Golden Salvo level 1 in a suicide against a Swiftblade as well as a Glacius, that seems a little silly. And I'm glad you pointed that out, because Elemental War, you probably want to have that in that matchup at level 1. So yeah, big Bloodlust kill, and you see Quincy pointing out right there, when Swiftblade gets a Bloodlust, usually results in good things. I mean, the hero in general usually results in good things, to be honest, but even higher win percentage. So middle lane, Flux applying a lot of pressure to Bubbles right here.
Yep. This matchup is an automatic win for Flux. This is just a good matchup for Flux, but Bubbles, man, he's actually not doing too shabby himself. He's actually trying to set close to 200 gold per minute, but Flux obviously dominating it. He is the highest GPM for the team, but we look at Swiftblade all the way at the top. 426 gold per minute, actually. Probably getting credit for the Bloodlust kill.
Well, Bloodlust kill, but also is actually leading the creep farm. It's pretty close, but he does have the slight advantage here. So yeah, all across the board, Swiftblade, Beaver Banger, he's doing fantastic. And again, it is always interesting, too, to see when we have a short lane Swiftblade, how does he build? Because we have seen the idea of like a Rune Cleaver before coming out to enhance the farm even more and go from there. But I don't know. Honestly, knowing Beaver Banger, I think it could be something like that. More of the flash farming tools such as the Rune Cleaver, or helping Nullstone Gaming, maybe a Nullstone. We'll see. But what do you think? What do you think would make sense on the Swiftblade?
Well, it really depends on how he's laning, and right now he is really in such a good position to even just go straight up for that Rune Cleaver, like you said, almost level 6 too. So, well, let's just see how he plays this. That even the conventional, like, it's even unbelievable to call an Elder Parasite a conventional item now for Swiftblade. Like, it could work pretty well for him, especially when Glacius is just, applying the Ice Imprisonment onto anyone.
Yeah.
And the Swiftblade just auto-attacking them to death. Sure, why not?
Well, I think the idea of the Elder Parasite, again, I like it in terms of Swiftblade in general, but that's usually with the idea of him being more the secondary carry, more the suicide option. If he's playing a main carry, that can be a little risky, honestly, but it could also work out. So, maybe that could be something to see. But Midas, top lane, he's going to go for the turn right there. He gets the transmute off, but actually he Elemental Warps away instead. He could have possibly got that kill if he went on a Glacius more, but he chose to play the very safe route and secure his own life rather than trying to get a kill. Yeah. Did not want to die right there.
If he actually Elemental Warped to the Glacius, he might have gotten a kill, but, at what cost? He might fall. And it was unfortunate because Swiftblade was actually level 6. That would have been a kill. But some great positioning from Midas. He actually just ported off the cliff. And, well, trying to maintain relevance in this lane, I guess. He's doing level 4. Well, sitting 0-1 and 0. Kind of suffering.
Yeah. Dampier, though, is also doing pretty good. 31-7 down here. He's got the Blood Chalice with his little red booties here, so I'm expecting him to start working on that farm quite a bit more. And you look at the jungle, man. The stacks are coming. That's what we're talking about. Especially if you have a Dampier in that short lane and no jungler. You want to make sure those camps are stacked. And boy, are they prioritizing that. Now, it does come at a little bit of a cost. Both Fade and Moira are doing that. So they're getting basically no experience right now, no farm themselves, just simply to make sure that Dampier gets that farm. So it is a little all-in-ish kind of right there, but hey, we know Dampier, if you get a good start on him, his snowball potential is pretty ridiculous. So I think it makes sense. Sacrifice.
Knowing Dampier being one of those, he is a flash farmer as well as a great hunter. And Hackstone is playing it, so I think he actually knows his positioning, and right now he's level 6, able to get kills. But there's one thing I like to point out about Dampier is that even in Southeast Asian cast, like we've stressed a lot on how Dampier is being like a hunter. Like I said, played well in mid. He farms best on kills and not just creep farming.
Yeah.
But in this case, it probably will be a little bit different considering how Grief is actually just getting jungle stacked up for him. So we might probably see 600 gold per minute anytime soon, maybe, and see how he just progresses from there, I guess.
Yeah, again, the idea of getting the Grimoire, the Lightbrand into the Grimoire power early on and then going the Portal Key after that. I mean, sure, Grimoire is definitely a bit of a farming enhancement tool from earlier on, but it does obviously enhance his kill potential, being the 15% more damage that he gets from that, as well as all the other stats. So, yeah, he has the capabilities to be a flash farmer, but also he's most certainly very, very powerful at killing heroes to get that farm as well. So, yeah, that's the transition we expect to see. Him going to Lightbrand next year, possibly get the Lightbrand, and then go into the jungle to take the stacks out. We'll be seeing here. Fade, though, in the meantime, is actually going to do a pull here with the pull camp. At least get some more experience himself. You know, wanting to get that Fade, that level 6 is important, so he can start utilizing that ganking potential of his. Swift play, by the way, to kind of answer the question for the early pickup, he is going the Abyssal Skull. Despite being the short lane carry here, he's still going more the traditional Abyssal Skull route, instead of perhaps more of a flash farming tool, something like a Firebrand or even the Rune Cleaver.
But how would you consider Abyssal Skull as like a flash farming tool? Because it does keep you alive. Oh, that was
a little bit of engagement, but yeah, not enough. Madman wants to chase them back, but I don't think they're gonna get close enough. Maybe Parasite actually, he cuts off Flux, so we could have something here. The discharge was not the best right there, pushed them very little. And Flux is being chased down in full now. Bubbles even joins the party. Hell, everybody's here. All 5 are here. He's trying to go over the cliff, but it's not going to happen. And Super KG does get picked off. So, I mean, it took all 5, but hey, they got the kill in the end.
Nonetheless, sitting 0-2 already, 8 minutes in. So, Nullstone, man. Talk about the single target pick-off abilities.
Yeah.
So, well, they are making it into this early game, so not sure how Grief is actually going to play this out. Midas is level 6, though. I'm just going to point that out. But so far, we've not seen, like, good pickoffs, transmute. Probably it's because, like, Fade's not in the vicinity. He does work well with Fade, and Fade is just busy stacking jungles.
Yeah.
So, could be a thing. And I think it's time for Dampier to actually kind of just show something. Being Dampier sitting lane and farming is not really a Dampier I like to see. But that could be my preference.
Well, again, I think it's going to come down to he's going to get 2,200 gold here, so he just got it. He's going to buy a Lightbrand. Or, okay, yeah, he misclicked. He bought a Firebrand there. I was like, what is he doing? But no, I'm pretty sure he's going to be buying a Lightbrand. There we go. He had to find it. And that's going to be delivered. And now he's going to farm the jungle. So, yeah, you want to usually get that first before you start taking these stacks. To apply that dot, if anything, and help you flash farm a little bit quicker. So we get some assistance from Moira as well. And now Fade takes over the lane. So obviously a good transition coming out here. From
Moira leeching off some experience as well. The experience that she really needs. I mean, all of these like heroes in the Legion team, they need levels, to be honest.
Yeah.
Moira with that level 6 Fade with that ult. Alright.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. Obviously, it does mean taking it away from Dampier, from him even farming solo experience, but it's worth it. I mean, Dampier already is level 9, where Moira is still level 3, and you definitely want her at level 6 as well, as soon as possible to have that Arcane Vortex option to use.
Let's see if this pays off, by the way. If Dampier hits level 11 from just farming triple stacks, and just shows up in lane and actually get some good kills, I guess. He is way off level 11 though, so he needs that. Kinda desperately going against this Swiftblade who is getting out of hand top lane.
Yeah. What do you think Fade should go here? He has 700 gold now. Again, he's close to level 6. Playing a secondary support. What would you like to see on Fade?
Tablet command, solid item, but in this case, probably even a Lex Helionis will work for him, considering the amount of farm he has. But yep, Lex is I think it's a solid pickup, especially with this Midas and Dampier.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree. I've actually been a big advocate of that since we started seeing Fade a little bit more. I think the Lex is actually a very good option for her. So, we'll see. I mean, she's sitting on 900 gold now, so definitely saving up a little bit of gold here. And then, going from there, definitely the tablet or the portal key. Definitely more of a preference thing, and depending on the game. So we'll see what she goes from there. And, I was going to point this out earlier. The Legion team, they triple stack their Ancients pretty early, and look at what's happening right here. Nullstone's coming in and taking them. Now, Dampier can definitely do them early on, but he wasn't going to be doing them just yet. And this is where that's a fault because they've been stacked so long, they were scouted about 3-4 minutes ago, and then finally Nullstone Gaming comes over and steals them. And that's a big deal. I mean, that's a lot of gold that goes in their favor and did not go to Team Grief at the same time.
Exactly. I think Nullstone knows what Dampier is doing, so they're actually capitalizing this. And capitalizing the fact that they're mostly fighting 4 versus 5. And they're actually going to be aggressive right there, make this push happening. And Dampier is still bottom. Fade even bottom. He does have a TP though, but I don't think he's going to be using it.
Yeah, not necessary apparently. The middle tower is going to survive for the time being, and Nullstone not necessarily going to ult out themselves either. And actually bottom lane, Dampier pushes it in, so perhaps trying to, really just taking advantage of that situation where Nullstone seemed a little unsure of what they wanted to do from there. And at least he gets the bottom tower push. So, and again, Dampier's farm, it's showing. He's already up to 450 gold per minute now and counting. He has another 1,200 gold saved up. He finished his Steam Boots, and now he's going to work as a Grimoire. But yeah, losing out on those Ancients, if he was able to go over and do the Ancients right now, his Bubbles gets picked off. The first kill coming out. A big reason for that, though. Fade hits level 6, now level 7, in fact. Goes over with the Invis and eventually sets up a kill. So, good play right there coming out. But, yeah, Dampier, he could have gone over the Ancients and had a Grimoire by now. So, again, it really just shows you that that's going to hurt them, or has potential to definitely hurt them in the long run. So, but Swiftblade, he is continuing a little bit it's a mix. The Abyssal Skull, it is a good farming tool, but it also does provide some good team presence. It's not, a maximum of either as far as getting involved in team fights or farming with. So, it's kind of the in-between, and it looks like he's going the Firebrand after. So, yeah, he really is going the traditional build here of a Frostburn follow-up, most likely.
I would say it's a good item, especially it synergizes well with, I would say, Parasite, maybe even a Madman. So, yeah, he is definitely thinking in terms of his team. And it will pay off in the long run, though. But not going for any farming tool, I think he's not doing too shabby himself because he is getting kills. He is sitting 1-0-1. Close to the 500 gold per minute mark. Dampier not too far behind. But after all, compared to a Dampier, he is more of a traditional carry, so he will scale better into this late game. Knowing that Haxerin is still somewhat farming, he does have his portal key money now.
Yeah.
Probably going to get that from the side shop. Yes, he will.
Yeah, that tends to vary, I think. We will see Dampier just go even for the full Grimoire, but especially since his triple stack got stolen, I think he feels it almost necessary. Get the portal key now, knowing that, we could be seeing some fights here in the near future. He drops it, actually, to keep them from knowing that information just yet. So, again, kind of just a good small thing there. Now, granted, this Ward of Sight, I'm pretty sure saw him do that if they were looking, so maybe not being as sneaky as he thought he was, but still, you get the idea right there. But you look at what Nullstone's doing. They're going to be pushing middle now. Dampier does have a TP, but it's just way too much pressure and happened quickly. So going down. Portal Key, by the way, on Flux. Now, we talked about this last game. We saw the Insanitarius on him, and again, that proves to be a pretty powerful item for assisted damage. But he goes the Portal Key this game instead. Do you like that, or would you have rather seen the Insanitarius?
I actually love that this game because I think he's actually trying to synergize with his team, and going in with the discharge, that just provides the best time for Haxerin to come in with the fear. Sets up the perfect combo from Midas as well as Fade. That's the dream combo. You're able to get that off, man. You're actually gonna really, really do some damage.
Now, I'm also noticing Midas, and you see what he has in his inventory. Again, he already has Strider, so it's not going to turn into Steam Boots with the Gloves of the Swift, which leads me to believe he's going to actually be building an Alchemist Bones here. And I say that for the main reason that they're going up against a Parasite, obviously, on the other side.
Yep.
You like that
It's
option?
an okay. Yeah, it's an okay pickup, especially. I don't think Dampier has the room for that. At least not now. So at least Midas, a flash farmer himself, is able to get that pretty soon, I think. So Midas playing that definitely more the utility role here. So sacrificing some of the damage, but that doesn't really matter because after all, the main nuke here is the Dampier.
Yeah, he's
but
follow up, transmute, and whatnot.
I'll say the Team Grief is playing this really passive though, at least for now. I think understandably because Dampier is just farming the hell out of his life here. When are they really gonna try to just at least try to get some kills, I guess?
Yeah, well, again, that kind of goes back to him going the portal key right there, and I don't know if he just thought a fight might have been breaking out very shortly or not, but I honestly think he would have been better off going the Grimoire. I mean, these Ancients would be dead this much quicker, he'd be able to get the portal key that much quicker ultimately altogether, and would have been in the same area. Now, you know, granted, he's going to have both of them together all as well, so it's not like the biggest deal in the world, but I feel like he would have got the combo of the items a little bit quicker if he actually did go the Grimoire here. But maybe it's a hindsight thing. Point is that he is going to have them both here shortly. Yeah, so going back to what you're addressing right there, I think if you're the Legion side, I don't know, waiting at least till he gets the Grimoire, ideally a Shrunken Head on top of that, and then then you'd feel comfortable fighting. I think that's like the key for a Dampier especially. Granted, he can do more earlier on for sure, and they could take advantage of that, and it seems like they actually are right now.
Yep.
As they push middle here.
They can't pull this as long as they hope for though, because as every second passes, Swiftblade is getting more farm. We have Madman who's farming his own Shrunken Head as well. It's going to be an annoyance. Parasite, oh man. Talked about that too. So in terms of this team fight, right now is probably the best time Grief has for a team fight, and they're trying to get some fun. Oh, top lane actually going to be
fun right there. Oscar actually denied the tower. That was well played by him, and yeah, gets Steven TP out there, and now he's trying to run away. He's interesting path right. He doesn't have a TP actually.
Creep's gonna spot him out. Oh, that's so bad.
He's going to keep stalking, but there's a dust. Flux happen to have dust right next to him. Gets a big slow off right there. Going to buy time for the team to come in. Pulls him back. I don't know, though, if he goes the right direction. He does, but it's not going to matter. Transmute hits, and he will fall. Dampier even comes in.
All right, so you see Dampier coming in.
And there's the Grimoire purchase, so now he has that amplified damage.
Oh, but he's level 13, so it's credit for that, though, of those triple stacks as well as the free farming. But he is top level. Yeah. Right now. But on top of that, Swiftblade has his Frostburn completed already. That's his major item. The rest of his team is just falling off though. Like if you pull up the gold per minute chart, you can see that most of them are just pretty much on the bottom, close to Team Grief as well. It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to point out too. This is a very identical game almost in terms of the GPM chart at least. It really is. How both teams have that carry doing pretty damn good, but then it drops off. No one above 300 gold per minute outside of the carries for either side. So it just comes down to more how impactful this first clash is going to be, and you know which team is better with the skills rather than relying on the items. And you know, I think you would have to give it slightly more to the Legion side right now. Honestly, give it more to Team Grief. So I don't know if that's on Nullstone that they need to be looking for maybe more action or not, but. It's just a very static. It's a very sit-back game. Nullstone's known for doing this, though. Maybe that's a fault of theirs right now, but they're known for being a very passive team for the most part that wants to farm more. So
let's see. Dampier, like I said, with the Grimoire picked up already. Let's see what he's gonna do right now. So he is the game changer after all. We've seen him just being passive, being a Dampier himself, and gonna walk past. No, that's it. That's his own ward. So going in blind. Oh, Fate coming with the ult as well. Top lane, Swiftblade most likely gonna fall here.
There's the jump. Here comes Dampier to follow it up. You see the burst from him. Not enough, though. We got the spin off in time. He didn't actually consume at all during all that. And yeah, okay, apparently he's saying he got a little bit of a lag, I guess. But yeah, that did seem a little funky. I feel like he should have been able to get that kill. So maybe he did get a little bit of lag, unfortunately. But yeah, not using the consume. A level 2, that's 300 magic damage. Plus, I mean, I'm pretty sure he had 3 essences. So yeah, that would have been a lot of damage, basically. I'm pretty sure it would have secured the kill. So unfortunately, wasn't able to do all that before the spin. Yeah, it was big.
Swiftblade lives at least, and he has Esteem stuff. So really going for that Shroud route. That's what I like to see, going for a full hunter build, not the full farming. And he is ready for bottom. Flux not being the tankiest right now. He only has a portal key. And at this point of time, oh, there you go, the ports into the Swiftblade.
What is that about? Yeah, Swiftblade down here by himself. He's going to do some good damage, maybe get the kill, but that might come at a cost. He's being chased down now by 3 different heroes. However, Glacius, nice slow from him. Trying to buy time for Swiftblade. He doesn't have any portal key or anything like that, though. He's going to need to just juke out of here some way, somehow. In the meantime, Hackstrom picks off a kill onto Baba Ganoush, and they will catch Swiftblade. And he is going to be locked down and eventually killed off right there. The Kelfield comes in, but it was way too late, obviously, at that point. So, yeah, I mean, getting a kill on a Flux is great and all, but Swiftblade was down there by himself. Really far up right there.
He was trying to set up a kill, which he did get in the end, though, but he paid a hefty price for that. Right now, man, just makes the perfect window for Team Greed to make this bottom push. It will most probably be uncontested.
Yeah. Wait, is that right?
What?
Well, that stat that he just showed, Nullstone's creep efficiency was 141%. I think that was a mistype.
I don't know.
That would be a very high percent. It's
probably not. Yeah, it's Quincy. It's kind of hard to doubt Quincy, so just do his job.
Well, let's say it is. He typed it, so it's the truth. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay.
Creep efficiency.
No, Dampier, he cleans up the Hellborn Ancients. Now they're going top, actually, so we are seeing a little bit of movement now happening here, going for kills. Pulling with the discharge. Can they actually chase him down? Doesn't look like it. Madman actually enough distance right there, but pace is picking up, and it does seem like that it is favoring the Legion team once again a little bit, just that much more. Hacks are in nearly 600 gold per minute now. He has 3,400 gold, so yeah, I think the Shrunken Head follow-up pretty ideally going to be happening here. Again, that's just routine on these carry Dampiers. I feel like so.
I don't know, like knowing Haxerin, well, he's just the aggressive kind. It's really hard to imagine just sit back farming a little bit and actually controlling his quote-unquote emotions, I would say. And he is level 16 now, so that's going to be a lot of bursts. So those stacks paying off big time. And he's going to be able to snipe out probably even Swiftblade at this point. Not even just Glacius or Madman. Madman even forced to go for the Mystic Vestments.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yo, Fade, he's looking to find a kill. Finds Glacius here by himself now. He has support nearby, so you don't want to be opening too recklessly here. But Dampier's just cleaning up triple stack Ancients in the meantime, so they'll be just fine with this. I mean, Swiftblade, you look at what's going on here. Swiftblade's spending a lot of time running around, and it was just all he got killed in the last time. He spent a bit of time right there trying to set up a kill. He doesn't even have his Shroud yet, so again, I don't know really what Nullstone's game plan is here. It feels like that they're trying to be aggressive, but why are you doing that when your Swiftblade sitting on a Frostburn and Abyssal Skull? It just doesn't feel right. Minus does get picked off in the meantime in the Hellborn jungle. So again, good news there definitely for Nullstone, but want to really prioritize a little bit more farm and Swiftblade, I think would be key. And make sure to at least get that Assassin Shroud here.
8-0, one of the best Quincy stats right there. So
yeah. That's actually
miss.
The fear just not in time. So good reaction there from Beaverbanger.
Okay, so we have a puzzle box completed onto Parasite already. That could be a thing. Spotting out this Fade, and that's pretty essential. But the problem with Fade is that you really need clear vision to kind of spot out a Fade, and they do not have that luxury. They have a bubbles nearby. So at this point, I think it's still a 4-4 though. Let's just put it out there. But at this point, Dampier is level 17 himself. Well, the Hellborn team is still in this game. Well, they're not completely out yet. But Beaverbanger is going to be the key role to this because of those auto attacks. But really, how much damage?
Don't underestimate. I mean, damage from Dampier definitely as far as the late game carry. Honestly, the fact that he has a passive built in with the lifesteal that opens up an inventory spot for him. Not needing to worry about getting that Abyssal Skull or the Whispering Helm. Even Hackstrom, by the way, gets a kill on a Fuzzy Slot. Speaking of that, and they might find another one actually. Fade's been chasing them down. Gets that. No, the reaction! What a reaction timing from Swiftblade there. With the spin, they turn it on a Fade really quickly. I mean, they must have known that she was there. Like, was it the puzzle box team or something? That was ridiculous.
That game sense, man. That's insane. Man, Beaverbanger doing so much work there. That's one of the reasons why they're still in this game. Like, his fingers way too fast. But, well, oh, man. How's this game going to go? Really, at this point in time, I really can't tell who's going to, take this game. We're 25 minutes in already, and it's a pretty balanced score. Not a lot of kills happening, just because of that early game passive farming from both teams.
We saw Madman get in the shrunken head. I think he needs the Warhammer here. I think he bought the pattern even, so just needs the Warhammer and gonna have that finished. But anyways, so having that, of course, again, makes a lot of sense. You need those shrunken heads. The Mystic Vestments, as you pointed out, are also key. And you know, honestly, I'm looking at like Swiftblade. I know he has the spin to make himself immune, but I think he could afford a Mystic Vestments at this point instead of the Hatchet, or at least it's getting close there. So we'll see if that maybe hurts him or not. But he is sitting on 3,400 gold, so he actually has more than enough for an Assassin Shroud. With that said, especially that he has a Steam Staff already, so maybe he's changing his mind here. And it wouldn't surprise me if he changes his mind to maybe just go a straight up Shrunken Head, knowing that, again, how powerful that is against this Legion side.
But man, with his fast fingers, I doubt Shrunken Head is even necessary. Just saying. Oh, middle.
Middle lane, Fate jumps right there on a Bubbles, excuse me. And Bubbles is going to eventually be killed off, but Parasite gets the counter kill. The nice lockdown with the Kelpo Flux pulls them in, but Swift slashes front. Swiftblade, Dampier is trying to hold his ground, Midas assisting. That Arcane Vortex will stall quite a bit, though. And can he get the lifesteal off? Yes, he can. The Consume, it heals him up a little bit, but in the long run, it might not matter. It doesn't look like it. They pick him off, so they definitely dove a little too much right there. Bubbles got killed off the bat, but clearly a big kill field for him to keep them in place and eventually turn that onto the Legion side. So good porting in, and, well, remains now an even game as far as stat-wise goes.
That worked out pretty well for Null, in fact, taking out both Flux and Dampier, which was pretty huge. And now they're going to attempt Kongor. That's a slight misplay coming out from Team Grief, like I said, just overextending there. And this is the traction that Null needs. Getting back in, getting the token for some tower pushes. In the long run, of course, physical damage wins.
Yeah.
Let's see how Haxton plays this out. He's playing really well so far, though. And he's sitting on 3.2k gold. This could be something.
I wonder what Swiftblade's going for, though. Again, he's on 4,400 gold, and it's clearly not going to be an Assassin Shroud at this rate. Like I said, he's had more than enough gold for that for a while here. Is he, like, saving up for a straight-up Wingbow at this point? And that would be really interesting if he goes for that this early on, especially against this Legion team, who, frankly, isn't the most... Oh, my God, he is. He is going Wingbow.
He is. Yeah, that explains why he's set on so much gold. Knowing Viewerbanger, he goes for either. He doesn't save gold. Usually, that's what I've noticed.
Yeah. Oh, Fade is trying to kill Glacius. Started to get a pull in there, but he chased a little too long. Maybe it's not going to matter. Swiftblade couldn't press R. So, well, what do you think about that? That seems a very interesting pickup choice here.
For who?
Swiftblade, the Wingbow.
Oh, Swiftblade. Well, he is right now. He is because it's gonna hit so hard, and knowing that he has his ult, and that just enhances his ult a little bit better. But of course, Firebrand kind of does the same thing. Well, he does have the Frostburn. My bad. Yeah, just pointing it out. Shrunken Head could have been way better here, and if Team Grief notices this, they're gonna capitalize off just right off the bat and just keep picking on Swiftblade with those CCs. There's only as much time as your fingers can react to pickoffs, especially with that fear being just almost like snap fingers, pop, instantaneous. But so far he's doing well. 2-1 and 3. I don't know. Team Grief's gonna play this out.
It's a really intriguing pickup to me because of how magic heavy this is, especially the opposition carry. Now, as I was saying earlier, I mean, Dampier could also build items like a Wingbow himself. We've seen that before. A Genjiro even, and a lot more of a right-click potential. And, you know, the idea of he's definitely not getting a Savage Mace, but at the same time, still a lot of his damage does come from magic with it, which is not going to be evasion. So, I think of it now, again, it does enhance his aggressive play that much more and allows him to do more damage and everything. So, I mean, I get it in that aspect, but it's... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm really curious to see how this works here for them.
Yep. Kind of a loss as well, but it's not too bad of an item. I think he's really just committing to those swift slashes. It does a lot of damage though, to put it out there. Those evasions, probably kicking in once or twice. That's probably enough for him to stay alive, I guess. He is he is their main auto attack damage after all, so he needs to commit to that role completely. Their teammates just to make the perfect window for him. Right now, we've not seen action for the past, I think, 2-3 minutes. And then again, this is the semifinals.
Yeah.
Deciding factor for the final. So both teams probably feeling the pressure.
By the way, with the Legion side, they do have 4 portal keys, and then you even got more on top of that, of course, with the Ephemeral Forge. So, again, their idea of being able to jump in and catch you is very, very real. And that's something that the Hellborn team is constantly having to keep an eye out for. So they're going to push the bottom lane. However, the middle lane is being pushed in. Kelfield comes out, catches Flux. They're going to try to get a kill out of that as more TP's happening. The Swift Slashes, no, he pushes them back first. But the slow is going to prove to be too much. He pushes them away again. Trying to just keep him off in, but that's just not going to be successful. Top tower, Dampier pushes it in. He's going to go for the TP. If this actually works, it should. Okay, yeah, he's going to survive. So they chose to, instead of try to save Flux, go for the guaranteed tower kill and a deny in the middle tower. But still, at least it's dead. So no more outer towers now remaining for Nullstone, which is definitely good, of course, for Team Grief right here. But what did he buy? Okay, yeah, so a Wingboat now purchased by Dampier on the other side of the spectrum. So, see, now for him, I think it actually makes more sense because he has both a Swiftblade and a Madman, where it's actually going to be really powerful against.
Oh man, did not see this Wingbow coming up from Dampier. It's going to be so good, like you said. Well, this auto attack coming up from both Swiftblade and Dampier. Dampier is going to come out on top though, because knowing the amount of stuns coming in. But I won't dwell too much on that though. Let's see how the fight's going to turn out. Middle defense tower going to be taxed out, and it's actually going to fall, knowing that Flux is actually not. It's not going to buy back out. He's going to come back out right now. Sitting on 3.5k gold though. What do you think he's going to go? Shrunken Head. He has the.
He has a Mighty Blade, but yeah, he has to go for it with that set if that's what he's going for.
Frostwolf?
Yeah, the Frostwolf Skull, yeah, that's true. Now that you say that, it's even more obvious. Yeah, the Frostwolf Skull is a very popular choice on Flux. For the obvious reasons that the R actually activates the Frostwolf Skull debuff on them. So it's a good tool to have. A Shrunken Head wouldn't necessarily. It's a good item, but yeah, I think I like the idea of the Frostwolf.
Well, so far we don't see any play deciding, if you know what I mean. Like this factor is coming up for either teams, to put it out there. Yeah, Dampier's sitting 6-1-0. That's scary. Talk about 600 gold per minute. He is up there. And Hellborn is, well, I don't know what to say, because in terms of team fights, they have seen some really good ones. At the same time, there are some really sloppy ones just in terms of positioning. And this game could still go for anyone, I guess. No deciding factors, like I said.
Well, yeah, again, this is definitely just one of these even games where a lot of it is going to come down to who gets the better jump. And the last fight that we did see, it was a much better jump from Nullstone. Bubbles, despite him getting jumped initially, he got the Kelfield off, and he bought all the time needed for his team to come in there. And again, Team Grief, they dove a little too far. They went past the tower to do that, and obviously it backfired, and ultimately Nullstone won the fight. So really coming down to that. Now Slayer purchased by Swiftblade. Like seeing that, of course. That means the Savage Mace is going to be coming up next year for him, and even more relevant that now he's going up against a Wingbow. It's safe to say. So it's going to be big for them once he gets that.
But I would say there's no big team fight yet, in terms of really huge team fights. Where I've not seen Swift Slashes being used at all this game yet. Something to note, and see how much damage he could actually deal from this. We have the entire Team Grief bottom lanes that could defending this. Even a Veiled Rot could be used onto this Dampier.
Yeah.
Moira getting position.
Yeah, he will expose the Veiled Rots right there. Fade's running in. Now Revor's down, but Dampier jumps in. Here we go. Mammoth going to be jump. Swift Slash, though. A lot of damage on a Dampier. Yeah, he was by himself. Very risky choice. He consumes a minion, actually, just to heal up. He's going to fall right here, most likely. He can't even kill Madman. Does the fear effect, though. Push back from Flux right there, but Dampier dies. He buys back immediately, though, but Swiftblade still pending in right-click auto attacks. And clearly in favor of the Hellborn team right now. A 2 make it a 3-for-0 exchange as Midas does get picked off as well. Hat trick for what you got on Parasite, actually. Honestly, did not see that coming, but man, the choice by Haxer to jump as far as he did right there by himself. Miscommunication. I think that was pretty relevant there.
If a buyback's used, I think both on Moira and Dampier.
Yeah.
And even a forced TP was cancelled too, knowing that all the members was just falling right off the top. And that was a huge team fight for Nullstone. Right now they're just they're on top, 14-8. Talk about physical carries.
Yeah, I don't know why Dampier thought he was so safe there. Jumping into the Hellborn team. Again, I got the replay up right here, especially when you're going against a Swiftblade who wants you to be alone. It's silly. He popped the Shrunken Head, but that's not going to do anything against the Swiftblade. So Clearly not thinking in the big picture there. And again, maybe that was just a team call. They were telling him to go, and they didn't follow up just in time, or I don't know what. But that was not a pretty fight. And well, there you go, Zeno. You're talking about that. Looking forward to the first really big fight happening, and that was it. And definitely won by Nullstone there.
So the real question is if this Dampier, it really all boils down to this Dampier. Though. We see him overcommitting a little bit. He really thought he could tank the entire Hellborn team. That's what Haxwin had in mind, and he was expecting follow-ups with those portal keys. I guess he didn't get it. So that was one team fight down for Team Grief for that matter. But still, they are still in this, and they got to play this really extra careful right now, knowing that Swiftplay is really a threat.
Yeah. Yeah, Swiftplay, it's absolutely a threat, and that Savage Mace obviously going to make them that much more. Brutalizer finished on Madman. Raw right-click carries, definitely both of those right there. They're going to be hitting very hard and pretty fast on top of that. So, yeah, this Legion side, as far as the scaling goes, I know I said do not underestimate a Dampier, but Swiftblade and a Madman both now starting to pick up a lot of farms. Swiftblade especially has been up there. It is scary, no doubt. And yeah, Parasite, hell, getting the hat-trick last fight. We can't forget about what you got on Parasite. He's had a great game, 5-0-3. That puzzle box mean is doing work, and he's going to actually have a demonic breastplate here soon. And that's going to amplify the damage of the team, as well as himself even in those minions of his. So this is, right now, especially with the way that last fight went, it's going to be a struggle here for Team Grief, no doubt, to try to hold off Nullstone with where things are at. But I'm trying to think of what maybe Haxerin can go for next. I know his farms dropped down a little bit because of that death and buyback, but does he? I don't know.
At this point of time, maybe Dawnbringer. That's what I'll say.
Full-on Dawnbringer? Jeez.
Full-on Dawnbringer.
That'd be expensive, and yeah.
As you can see, though, he was putting up some good auto attacks against the Swiftblade too. So if he got some extra damage in, that would have been a kill too. He lasted like probably 10 of those Swift Slashers, close to 10. Well, it was 8 though. But as you can see, he was pretty tanky, and he was just applying those lifesteal coming in, definitely keeping him alive. So I think all he needs is just mainly, I guess, auto attack damage. I mean, he doesn't really need to kite. He goes in, he has the shrunken head, he has the wing bow to mitigate auto attack damage.
Yeah.
That's all he really needs. His team needs to be the one to set up those perfect CCs for him to just dish those damage.
I think a Frost of Skull would make sense with that said. I like that logic there, but yeah, just going straight up Frost of Skull, a little bit extra tanky. And again, he already has a Grimoire, so getting a Dawnbringer on top of that, it's not out of the question, but you're not necessarily being the most efficient there. So yeah, we'll see what he does go though. 2,200 more gold saved up. Again, he's farming about 600 gold per minute though, so pretty realistic that we could see another tier item on him. Speaking of Frost of Skull, we do got that finish now on Flux. He finally picks that up. Kongor is available as Glacius going to be found by Fade, but he's not really interested in that. Fade just wants to see what else is happening.
Yep, Legion is kind of blind.
Yeah, well, the puzzle box minions, you got to be careful with that, of course. But actually going to find Swiftblade here. He doesn't have the most team support nearby. Quick burst on him. And he doesn't have a buyback. He just got a Savage, and I wouldn't be surprised if they picked up on that.
Oh god. I don't think they even had a chance to see that, but this is pretty much a Kongor attempt for Grief. Talk about traction, probably get it. And Swiftblade down for the next minute or so. This would be an easy Kongor kill, probably even a mid push coming out, man. Those bursts, as you can see, paying off well for Haxerin.
That was just the whole team, yeah, they were just there. And obviously, Nullstone wasn't ready, and yeah, if you're Nullstone, don't even try to defend this, especially with Swiftblade dead. That seems like it would be a silly move. You see Bubbles nearby, but Flux kind of just discharged at the last second just to make sure. And yeah, the clear call did not even try to defend at that point, but that is huge, of course. I mean, well, it seemed like unless a mistake like that happened, Nullstone was going to be possibly in a pretty good spot. Well, the mistake happened, and caught out just by himself, a little too far away from the teammates. But Fade, that's where he's powerful. That was all Fade, really, when you think about it, because he's the one that scouted it to start and what he can do.
Vision.
So, no bound eye on the Hellborn team, and I was actually looking for that just previous to what just happened there. And I think they may really. I mean, again, having puzzle box minions is great for that too, but I think you really should almost overdo it here and also get a bound eye.
Almost always, but it is. I mean, at this point of time, really, if you just get like maybe just clear vision and help. I mean, Legion team has been trying to deward, I guess, but as you can see right now, they're almost close to being blind. So this puzzle box, I think they are comfortable with just that puzzle box itself. It should be okay, at least for now. Because after all, you still need clear vision to spot out a Fate, though. And if he just pops up from threes, it wouldn't really make a difference. But I would say recommend an eye.
Yeah. What?
Madman does have to cash for it, but I don't know if he wants to commit for that.
No. If anything, getting somebody else to buy it for him. But yeah, no, not a whole lot of gold in general here on this Hellborn team coming out right now. So, oh, Fate again. Those puzzle blocks, though. Yep, there's the dust and gonna be spotted. So this time it backfires on Massera. Obviously, got to be careful about that. And is found, so good catch there. He doesn't have a buyback, but that's not nearly as significant as a Swiftblade kill. That's for sure.
So, speaking of eye, we do have it onto the Flux. Not sure it's the best item. Yep, it's good for Madman, obviously, but
well, counter warding in general. I mean, it's just good to have for that purpose. It's they don't have a puzzle box minion for going around and counter warding, so I like it here.
All right. So with Fate down, these
oh, catch here, Midas. Midas is caught by the sheep stick actually in the middle lane. Kelvin comes out as well. The Lex applied all the elemental warp, but it wasn't able to get it off in time, and he does die. Now he doesn't have a buyback, and that's a little more impactful because he has a Portal Key sheep stick combination, if anything, that is not going to be ready now. So a couple of pickoffs, and now Nullstone's turn.
Sounds like they put this push here, but you're not committed to this push. Why? It was pretty free though. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, again, they're not 100% guaranteed if he has a buyback or not, probably. So
they're not confident we're going up against this lineup, I guess. Still, this Dampier still posing as a threat, so that's a statement.
Yeah.
Showing how powerful it is. Well, Dampier sitting level 24 with token already, 4.4k gold. Not for his buyback, but it is his last buyback though.
Yeah.
What is Haxrin probably gonna go from this point on? As you said, he's still sitting on the same items. Those close to 10 minutes ago.
He is. But clearly, very soon here, we're going to find out what's going to be next. And whether or not he saves up for a buyback, too, is I am curious about it. He has a token, but it's not much longer left on it, about a minute and a half. I don't know if they're really going to be able to make the most of it, to be fair, as far as pushing in. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does save up for a buyback as well. So I won't know just yet. But, yeah, again, there's a lot of options that could make sense here. It's just a matter of what he feels necessary, really, than Haxrin. So,
all right. Did we point out Parasite has a demonic breastplate?
Yeah. Well, the Souls Bork earlier, but yeah, I knew that he was building into it at least.
At least that's completed, so it's going to benefit his team, just overall in terms of auto attacks. But in terms of auto attacks, pretty much Dampier is the one doing most of it, I guess. And mostly just bursts. And you can see they're just congregating these Legions in jungle with Fate scouting out, obviously. Getting ready. Oh, Bubbles.
Fate gonna be found. Sheepstick comes out, but the counter Sheepstick on a Bubbles. Lexelion is burst on a Fate, though. He goes down, Swift Slash is bouncing around, and Midas is dropping very low. He eventually does fall down. Dampier trying to do what he can. He has a token, remember. I don't think for much longer, though. He goes in the Arcane Vortex. It's wearing off for 38 seconds, so he actually has a good amount of time. He is going to be bursted down eventually, but he comes right back up. A Flux dice as well. It's just too much damage coming up from the Hellborn side. Can he maybe get the kill on him? Madman? No, he cannot. The right click is way too much right there. Hat trick coming out for Asuka, actually, on the Madman, and a genocide in their favor. So, man, Dampier just did not stand a chance right there to the physical presence.
So I said, boys, physical damage wins the games in the end. They dragged the game a little bit too far, I guess. Haxrin not getting as much kills as I was hoping for. As you can see, even Swiftblade doesn't have a lot of kills, but his assists, holy crap, it's 11. And, well, this doesn't really matter, because right now they're knocking onto the defense towers of the Legion team. No buybacks available, except for Haxrin, which I doubt is able to do much on his own.
Yeah.
And this is going to be pretty much free Raxus for Nullstone.
Big pick indeed, and the melee racks, yeah, no chance to defend that. Dampier, again, he has a buyback, but unless he has the team support around him, not going to necessarily waste it right here. So they get what they came for, and Nullstone now, once again, going to play it safe, as we like to say. Nullstone, again, very good at that. This is just a comfortable spot for them. I really feel like Nullstone is their average game length in these last, 3 weeks. I know they've always been known for being a longer game team, but it feels like it's 50 minutes plus. I mean, it's ridiculous how every Nullstone game lately is going 50-plus minutes, but that's just their style of play, what they're very comfortable with. and taking it to the late game stage. And yet again, another example of that here. As we're at least 45 minutes in right now.
I think one of the biggest factors was it's actually the Midas. I think committing to the Alchemist Bones kind of just sets him down a little bit in terms of being more aggressive, I guess. But he does have the Sheepstick, so that's a thing. But it's pretty much only a single target lockdown. And for the Hellborn team, it is a full team fight, as you can say, CC potential. Yeah. Especially Glacius with the Glacial Downpour plus Kelp Field. It's so much damage coming out.
Yeah, it's you're right though. That did kind of set him back. Now, Alchemist again, an interesting item that, especially now with the experience buff too, it's ideally supposed to help enhance your farm and keep you going. So that's where it didn't necessarily set him back a crazy amount, but yeah, he was he felt like he was forced to go that at least first item, and didn't give him as much jump and kill presence earlier on in the game, which most certainly could have hurt their overall chances here. But Dampier, I think it's safe to say, if you're Dampier, honestly, saving up for a buyback at this point almost seems silly to me. I know he only has one left, but he needs another big item here. That's very evident, as we saw in that last fight. Moira is going to fall, and from especially what we saw in the last fight, he needs some kind of help with survivability. Now, a good mix item, I think, could be something like a Genjiro, now that I'm thinking about it. It's that mix of some nice damage increase, but also a little bit of survivability. But at the same time, you're going up against a puzzle box, a Bound Eye, couple of Bound Eyes for that matter. So, yes. I go back to, honestly, my Frostal Skull option and still think that might be your best choice. But it's no matter what he gets here, it's still not necessarily going to be the greatest thing ever.
But it's 6,000 gold. Like, if he goes damage, he loses on survivability. If he goes on survivability, he doesn't dish as much damage. And Swiftblade could just auto-attack him down. What are his options, honestly?
Behemothar, that's an option, but that goes back. Okay, he is going to go get Zero.
Oh, okay, Zero.
Yeah, again, that's kind of the in-between, if anything. So that's where I do like it, but he's going up against so much invis detection that it's almost not going to matter about the invis. Yep. So, I don't know.
Probably just kind of just use it as a utility tool. Well, it does grant a 50% slow though, so lets him apply those auto attacks in if he needs to.
There is definitely still benefit for using it, of course. You get the amp damage and slow on top of that, so it still has a benefit, even though if you're seen, but it's not going to be necessarily that great escape tool either. And actually, he needs to be careful here. Uh-oh. Ooh, he gets away just in time. Bubbles? No.
Oh, not going to pour it in. Both teams are blind in the Legion team, so.
Yeah. Pretty sure Nullstone waiting for another Kongor attempt. I think it would be the third one. Is probably what we're going to be seeing here. Get the bananas and token and then really do it in.
Well, it's closing 48 minutes. One of the longest games so far. I guess both teams are not really comfortable in pushing in, even though despite that Nullstone has the upper advantage. We've seen them; they're still kind of afraid. They don't feel that they have this game in their hands right now. But closing in closer, Swiftblade hitting level 25 soon. Actually gets the Frostwolf. Did we address that? Yeah. So that's giving him more survivability plus utility on top of that. So sitting on 2.4k HP, he is probably close to unkillable now.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, full damage burst from the Legion team, which requires great coordination. And
yeah, no, that actually brings up an interesting point of who should they be really trying to prioritize in these fights. And if they can get a jump, like all five of the heroes are there, and they can choose which hero to try to pick off right off the bat, I don't know. I mean, it is tough because Swiftblade, you just pointed out, I mean, he is fairly tanking out with that Frost of Skull, Zaz the Abyssal Skull. The Wing Bow is not going to be guaranteed. I think if you have like that opportunity of all five again, like probably not going to happen, but they're standing there, you could choose, probably would be the Swiftblade, but a more realistic option, maybe something like that, Madman. Even the Parasite. Parasite is doing a lot right here for this Hellborn team, from the Puzzle Box minions to applying the Demonic Breastplate debuff to the Lex to his burst in general.
Oh, Moira.
And speaking of a catch, yeah, Moira gets caught right here, but at what cost for Bubbles, actually? They're going to go on to him, and they're going to get a quick counter kill. So, well, that's a very favorable exchange in favor of the Legion side, and a Bound Eye drop on top of it, actually. So,
did they miss that?
Did they not even? Okay, they don't care, apparently. Congress happening in the meantime, and there he goes. Token onto Madman, and bananas onto Swiftblade.
Drops the Abyssal Skull. Yeah. That is kind of great. But it's a great diversion, though, at least for what it matters. Fuzzy Sloth is keeping them away from Kongor. But not to say that Grief knows that a Kongor attempt was happening. But nonetheless, they do get bananas and token. Who got the token? That was Madman, yeah. He's been sitting on the... Oh my god, it's Savage Mace pick up already. on the Madman. Where did that come from? He's been sitting on the, I would say, Brutalizer plus...
He just got it, so... Yeah, he had like 5,000 gold pulled up and eventually got enough for it, so...
So he's another factor to consider.
Oh, yeah, no, he's... I mean, seeing that, it's like, I want to keep faith here, I want to be positive, but man, Madman is just going to tear up anyone he sits on, including Dampier. Yep. Like, now with the Savage Mace, no evasions coming up, Dampier doesn't stand much chance, man. He's like the best
utility hero to counter this Dampier, straight up.
Yeah. This is going to be a game now, especially seeing that, where Team Grief, they need picks. I mean, there's no way they're going to win a true 5 versus 5 fight. They need to get pickoffs, at least 1 or 2. And actually, Madman's kind of getting a little reckless here. You see the dive from Fade. Speaking of being reckless, Fade was pretty reckless. Goes in, Dampier falls, but it locked it immediately. Look at the lockdown as we're talking about. Absolutely no chance to do a damn thing. And there's a vote to concede, and it looks like it's going to be official here. GG, well played. Game 3 and the series will go to Nullstone, and they are going to the finals to take on Reason Gaming in a best-of-3 to see who goes to DreamHack Summer. Well played by them, but yeah, there really was no chance at that point for Team Grief.
Yep. Talking about the Savage Mace pickup, straight up just came into play, and you've seen the lockdown, those bashes. Oh man, it's as if he's hacking with that. But Oscar, really, well played to Madman, and well played to both teams too. Like, I mean, Team Grief just tried to hold their ground. This Dampier almost worked out in the end, but of course, ultimately, with a Swiftblade Madman coming in, oh man, it's too much damage for the Legion team to handle. They kind of pulled it all into this Dampier, but ultimately it did not pay off.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw that at the end there, and I'll have this on replay here to show you guys once again, in case you blinked or something, how quickly it happened. But yeah, it's by that point when you're going up against a couple of Savage Maces, you have a wing bow, and you're already more of a magic damage dealing carry focus. It's just not going to be realistic. So I don't know if there's really much else to say other than just Nullstone. Well, as they tend to do, they outlasted their opponent. Really, that's what it comes down to. The earlier on play, especially with the Dampier, you could look at that now in the hindsight of Team Grief. Maybe they didn't play it as aggressively as they should have earlier. Perhaps was a big issue, but the big picture is they are going to fall just short. But hey, you know what? I'm excited for this matchup here for the finals now. Nullstone versus Reason. Both teams have fallen just short of qualifying for DreamHack. Nullstone last cycle, they lost to Sync. The first cycle, Reason lost to Fresh, of course. Now they're both going to get a chance. One of these teams will move on to DreamHack Summer 2015, and that is going to be coming up next. So we are going to be going to short.